Hello and welcome again to the episode 3 of this podcast series. I have with me today again Mr. Gábor, and Mr. Gábor is a mentor in the HSUP and outside the HSUP. I will give him the opportunity and the platform to introduce himself, how he is a mentor outside and inside the HSUP. So welcome. And please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are to begin with before we dive into the concept of the video.
Okay, all right. So my name is Gábor. Nice to meet everybody here. And so I've been a mentor at HSUP for a year at this point, but I've been mentoring before. Normally in my day-to-day life, I am a board game designer, and I worked with tabletop games all over my life for the past 4 to 5 years at this point. But originally I graduated as a communications and media student from McDaniel College, Budapest.
Okay.
So that's like a very brief rundown of what I do.
So let's talk a little bit outside HSUP. Before the interview, you made mention that you are a mentor of a certain group. Can you elaborate on those a little bit? Let us know what kind of board games, what are your board games, where can we find them? Are they on the market? Or?
So when I mentor board game designers, those are usually like the upstarts, the amateurs, like those who are trying to make their very first game. In Hungary, we tend to create a lot of games that never make it to the market. So I'm trying to make a difference in that by offering guidance and assistance to those who do not necessarily know how to push something out to the market and to publishing. In the HSUP program, I did not have any projects that worked with tabletop games, although one of my teams that I mentored was actually taking inspiration from some tabletop elements when it comes to that. Usually when I work with tabletop projects, I tend to help with different tool usage, so I usually introduce them to stuff like Figma, Trello and other tools that they can easily use to create their first prototypes and to streamline their processes in a way. And I usually teach certain things like design thinking, methodology and stuff like that in order to help them facilitate and focus their thoughts and experiences into one. When I do work on that case, I am mostly developing mechanics. So I am sort of like a programmer, but instead of zeros and ones and different programming languages, I use cards and tokens and dice and stuff like that to kind of get my message through to people. So that's kind of like a slice of my life in a way.
I mean, discussing the board games, I know the average person will just picture the board games. I mean, board games. I need you to elaborate a little further, like describe what do you mean by board game? Because even on PC, we can play board games on PC.
Yes,
you know that?
that is. I do.
Yeah, so
I know.
Please tell me.
So right now, on a yearly basis, more than 1,000 new board games are being released to the market worldwide. Many of them are released internationally, so you can have access to an incredible amount of them. Many of these things are being made by people who do not yet enough funds to make them happen. So crowdfunding is a very popular platform in tabletop creations. So things like Kickstarter, BackerKit are both incredibly popular platforms in the genre. Apart from that, when we do make games, we are generating a plethora of genre that target not only families, but we make games that last over like 3 to 4 hours, very complex mechanisms to indicate and to kind of let you in on an experience. So just to give you a quick example, there is a designer called Vital Lacerda, and his games tend to be very complex. One of his most popular games is essentially a way for you to build colonies on Mars. And there are many little nitty-gritty details. It is complex. It is meant to work your mind. It is meant to work everybody around the table, and it lasts a very long time. At the same time, for example, my first published game called Naughty on Nice is a quick, easy, family-style board game for 2 to 5 people, and it is meant to capture the spirit of the holiday season in a way. So it features many like folklore characters, folktale stories in it, and it is meant to be a bit educative. So there is a big, broad spectrum of things that you can experience when it comes to board gaming nowadays.
Wonderful. Before we get into the Hungarian Startup University Program, I wanted to also ask, so how far is it going? Have you finally launched a game that is on the market? And if I am interested, like I can just go and buy and start playing?
Yeah, so as I've mentioned before, Naughty or Nice is our very first published board game. I have a company called Bunny Hog Games that I am making with my partner, my girlfriend. And so this is a company that we both founded together in order to make games. We are essentially trying to balance it out in a way that we make games for families and we make games for gamers, essentially. So one to the left hand, one to the right hand side, sort of like a dealer at a poker table in a way. With that, unfortunately, because we are both doing mainstream work on a day-to-day basis, we're not fully entrepreneurs at this point, but we're trying to make sort of like a transition into it happen. Naughty or Nice has been sold out in Hungary. Currently we are reprinting the game. It was sold out by us. We were not necessarily picked up by any retailers at that point, so it was only us, and we sold it in a year. So many people doubted that we can sell a game that is themed around Christmas, not at the time of Christmas. The biggest sales that we made was in 38 degrees outside in the middle of summer last July.
Wow.
So it was quite an experience for us. Apart from that, currently I'm working on a board game called Winds of Numenera, which is a fantasy comic book developed by Dark Rose Studios, and the base game is being produced right now, manufactured in China, and the expansion I'm currently working on is going to be completely designed by me. And I'm working on another game called Exodus, The Last Stand, which is going to be this epic science fiction story that you can tailor around yourself and sort of like interact with, which is going to be published by a Danish company, as it is.
Right. I mean, let me resurface it all again. So you design a game, and then you make it, and then you print it, and put it on whatever surface, if it's a board or a card, and then, like you're saying, last year you sold the game as you did it, you designed it, you created the
So I wrote everything that's on the card. My girlfriend drew like the illustrations for it and stuff like that. So we did the whole process from top to bottom, essentially. So from beginning to end. If you bought a game and you have it at home, you have it from us. So I gave it to you personally.
We have it from your hands.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to bring one today to show it to you, but unfortunately I couldn't because we're out of it. So.
I mean, business is going so good that you're out of it. That is great. Now to the Hungarian Startup University Program. In just simple words, maybe somebody's watching this our episodes for the first time. How would you describe what it is in simple words?
So the HSUP program is essentially targeted at university students, and it is a broad net that tries to invite students who are interested in entrepreneurships and who might have some unique ideas that they wish to create. What HSUP does is that it creates a platform that assists you in your creation process, and it also teaches you on how you can validate yourself through that process and become self-made, essentially, by the end, if you are willing to put in the work, obviously.
And you did mention that you were once a mentor in this program.
Yes, I'm currently still mentoring 2 teams.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the project, the progress? Maybe one or two can encourage somebody who is interested to join.
Sure, obviously. So one of the projects that I mentored is still ongoing. Its project name is Restructor. So it is Restructor in English, essentially. It is been founded by a lady called Esther, and she is from the University of Elte. So she is coming from sort of like a historical studies background as it is, and now she's in MOMAS, so she's studying artistry. And her idea was to create an application that can lead sort of like a guided tour through a site that it doesn't have like a built-in museum and a full-on experience. Because there, in Hungary at least, there are a lot of like ruins and other sites that you can visit. They might need to pay like an entry ticket to look at it, but there's no like museum chambers where you can go in. It shows you the history of it. There are like no maquettes and silhouettes and other things that you can look at, or any sort of like stories that are there. And so the idea is that the application will be available through a museum ticket that you can buy, and it is essentially a website that you can use to look at the building, and it will give you an AR, so an augmented reality reconstruction of the building itself, so how it would look if it would be full. And the second is that it is going to give you a narrated like story and guide the tour through the site. So it can substitute tour guiding and other essential workers there in a way. So it is meant to support and assist locations that do not have that big of a funding, but do have a large amount of visitors each year.
I mean, you do see a lot of project ideas. Have you seen some project ideas that you yourself are like, nah, this guy is dreaming too big?
Okay, that's an interesting thing. So in the HSUP program, every second semester we get to see all the projects, and we can talk to the students and sort of like in this matchmaking way of finding mentors. And there was a project that actually made it to the top 10 this year. And I am unsure about its name. I think it's like Firefly Institute of Space or something like that. It is essentially run by a girl who I think worked with NASA or been to NASA on an apprenticeship or something like that. And she wanted to make spacesuits. And I was like, okay, that's strange, but I mean, it could be cool, right? I mean, it could be fun, but
spacesuits.
Yeah, spacesuits. Yeah, like EVA suits. So whenever you exit a spaceship, you're in space and stuff like that. And I was like, wow. I mean, like, I would never thought or dreamed of this, but it seems that she's legit. Like, she made it to the top 10, and she's making it happen. I really do hope that she makes it happen. I mean, I never really thought that I would see something like this, but it is very cool to see things come up that I would never dream of doing, but other people make it happen, and I can experience that with them.
I mean, when you are making a project, you have two options at large: to be very unique or tap into an idea that already exists and then try to improve it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which way would you rather encourage somebody to move?
Now that is an interesting question. From my field, so from the tabletop industry, every 5 or 10 years comes one game that really kind of like reshapes the market on how we view things, when it focuses on either a new mechanism or a combination of mechanisms that has never really been done before. And so from that aspect, I am mostly on the side that if you want to create something first, try to do something better than it was done before. And because it is first thing, it's easier, and second, you can research it properly, so you can see how other people do it, and then you can improve upon it. But this is essentially scientific theory. Like anybody who works in science knows that whenever they speak about like celestial objects and physics and stuff like that, at the beginning of every sentence, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson actually said this, like at the beginning of each of my sentences, I should say like, currently we believe that something. And so right now, I do think that going in the kind of like betterment way is actually more manageable. But if you have like a big idea and you truly believe that it's good, I would say talk to the people who already work in that field, and if they say that it's not good, maybe try and push it still. We've seen it so many times throughout human history when somebody said like, this should be how we do things, and then nobody believed it, and then it actually turned out true. So it's kind of hard to say a definite answer.
That reminds me to ask you another question. In one of the previous workshops, I saw an idea, and I thought it was very good, where if you wanted to fix something at home, there is a group of virtual engineers you can contact. This idea already exists. I've seen a lot of ideas like that, but I think this guy added some style, something to make it different. Do you think this is also a form of discouragement? Because when somebody wants to do a project, he thinks there are other people already doing that kind of project, and I think it discourages people.
I don't think it does discourage people, but I do think that you need to be a little bit cuckoo to say like, yeah, I can do it. To give you a good example, Hungary is a place where big fast food brands do stick. So since there was the big system change in '89, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, that's what we have, that's it. And we've been stuck with that since the kind of like very beginning of our democratic journey. And just in the last like 5 or 6 years ago, Zing and Bomba showed up with like these artisan hamburgers, like these big fat patties and stuff like that. And then everybody was like, oh my God, it's so good, it's such different, you know, like it's more healthy, it's more organic and stuff like that, you know. And then later on, just a year ago, I think, when Simon's Burger came to the stage, and the guy was failed at university, he doesn't really have a job, he started an ice cream vending station that failed, and then he went into making burgers, and he's not the only one. There are other 2 or 3 other very successful brands that are already going international. So I know that there's like, I think their name is Smashy. They now have a smash burger shop in New York, and they actually have one in Budapest, and they do have a live feed camera in both of them. You've seen that. Yeah. So even though other people make smash burgers, they can make smash burgers. They can make their own kind of style or something or substance, because there's always something that's a little different than to what the others make. And the reason why I'm bringing up food is because everybody needs to eat. And so if you make a service that does something, and I can make the same service but a little different, on that case, that is my kind of a way of doing that service. So I do think that there is a way for everybody to make it with their own.
This is a little bit out of the board, but since you are preaching about people believing in their craft, you know, I prepare, like, no jokes, I prepare very delicious chicken.
Okay.
Like if I grill chicken with the kind of the style I have, the spice in my chicken, I can bet that if 100 people take a bite, they will come back for it. Do you think this is enough confidence to start up something?
Yeah.
Since you said everybody eats food.
Yeah, I do think, yeah, exactly. All you need to do is to create a brand around it. But so if you, usually what people say is that you need to have a face and you need to have an identity with that face. So if you say like you make the best chicken in town and you can make that happen, you can feed it to people and they say like, yeah, this is the best chicken in town. In that case, it is going to stick. So it is also about the customer's approval, how they view the product, not only how you view the product.
I view it. But then I have a lot of friends, family, who have tried my casual making chicken, and they are all encouraging me to start up. So maybe I'll sign up for the Hungarian Startup University Program and start grilling chicken.
This is the ad time. No, but seriously, if whenever you make a startup or whenever you make like your own company or brand or whatever, your first customers will always be your family, your friends, your close relatives, your schoolmates, whatever. So that is how you can grow. And it is fine if they are the first one to say it's good. Just be sure to test it on people who don't know you.
Okay.
Maybe make some chicken, walk out to the center square and just be like, hey, free chicken.
Yeah, try it and give me a
Yeah,
feedback.
obviously.
Yeah, okay, I will take that. Since we are getting to the end of the episode, let's go back to your games. What makes it unique or different from the other games? Like, what is your signature, your branding in your game that if one person sees it, they know that, oops, it's Mr. Gabo's game?
Well, you got me by the tail on that one. I haven't worked in this industry for so long that I could say like I have a signature something in mind. Usually, when I try to make something happen, I think in modules because I used to teach a lot of like children and school children in the past. So maybe that can be it, but I don't know yet. So if you ask this question from me like in 3 to 5 years, I'll be sure to give you an answer. But it's very interesting because last time when I was here and I was interviewed by one of your professors, she asked me a very good question too. And 1 year later when I did came back, I figured out the answer. So thank you. I'm gonna go with that one on my journey.
So hopefully next time I speak with you, I'll probably wouldn't have to ask. The signature would be in the work itself.
Hopefully.
Well, there are a lot of students across Hungary in this University of Dunaújváros who are interested in joining the Hungarian Startup University Program. You've been a mentor in and out. You have projects in and out. You have students in and out. So if you have to encourage anybody who is trying to make the bold step, what would be your final words to them as a form of encouragement?
Which camera can I talk to? That one, I think?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Do it. Seriously, sign up and try it. You're not going to fail. You're not going to be left alone. Many people do have ideas and this country is filled with them. So please just join. Try your best and we'll be there to help you and assist you. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so he said try. I can't promise you about failing. He says you can fail. I can promise, but even if you fail, I think it's good. Failure is part of the journey, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you fail, rise up and keep going. So this will be the end of the 3rd episode. I don't know if there will be more. I'll find out. Maybe I'll find more of Mr. Gábor. But until then, this will be the last episode. Thank you very much for joining in. It's your favorite host, Akosa, and bye.